Happy summer, everybody. Matt Farnham here, leader of Team Farnham here at Crown Point Realty in Las Vegas and Henderson, Nevada. Hope everybody's having a great start to the summer. I know it's a little bit different right now as we're still kind of walking out of this season of COVID-19. Not out of the woods yet, but I hope you and your family are all healthy and safe and are having a good start to the summer. Hope everybody had a great Father's Day. Thank you to everybody who came out to our team's Father Day outreach we did. We had a photographer set up and then just had some goodies for dad and some crafts for the kids to do for dad. But I hope Father's Day was a really special weekend for all of you and your fathers. It has been a hot week in Vegas. Not just weather, but real estate is on fire too. So we'll get to the Vegas market here in a minute. But first, let's kind of jump into what's going on a national level. There's a CNBC article that I'm going to share with you in the content below that was really unique, that talked about the recovery. But it looked at things other than the obvious indicators of, how much money is being spent or the housing market and things like that. But you'll see 5 different examples of resources they use. One of them is Apple Maps to see how often people are mapping destinations to either walk, to bike ride, to go in a car, or maybe even mass transit. So that was really interesting. You'll see that. Open Table for restaurant reservations. U.S. hotel occupancy, U.S. air travel, and then, of course, yes, U.S. home purchases. So I think you'll get it'd be very interesting for you to look at that. So I'll put that below, and you'll see that housing is leading the charge, just like we talked about last month, which is the expectation that housing will lead us out of this economic slowdown that we're experiencing right now. According to Housing Wire, I'm going to put a couple links below for articles from Housing Wire. But quoting them, it says housing continues to be the brightest spot in our economy. Again, exactly what we expected to see. Purchase applications actually just dropped this past week for the first time in 10 weeks. There was 10 consecutive weeks of mortgage purchase applications going up significantly. In fact, both refi and purchase activity are up 76% higher than last year. And purchase applications last week, right before this 3% decline this week, was the highest levels in over 11 years. So buyers are active, and we're feeling it here in Vegas on our team specifically. But we know there's a lot of buyers in the market. What we need is sellers, and we'll talk about that in a minute. Also, to share a link from Housing Wire, they reference Fannie Mae, stating that Fannie Mae actually sees these historic low interest rates that we're experiencing right now, all the way maybe even through 2021. There's a lot of mixed opinions on that as we have an election coming up here in November and what that might look like no matter who wins the election, soon after the election with interest rates and inflation and things like that. But Fannie Mae is expecting historic low rates to continue for probably another 18 months or so. So that is very encouraging if you're trying to get your ducks in a row to purchase a home in the coming months. As far as our lender partner, Scott Reynolds, a couple of updates from him. So Scott at Evergreen Home Loans, you'll hear me talk about Scott a lot. Many of you have worked with Scott. He shared with me that the majority of the 30-year fixed mortgages that they're contracting over the last few months are in that 3% to 3.5% range. So incredibly low rates right now. 15-year mortgages usually are trending below 3%. So incredible opportunity right now. And something else he shared with me that I thought was really interesting or important to note is, we've referenced forbearances. I've done that in one of these updates or two in the months prior. But if you haven't had a gap in your income, pay your mortgage, pay your car payments, don't do these forbearance programs. I've heard from Scott and others that more and more people are going to apply for mortgages and didn't realize that the forbearances they've been doing are affecting their ability to get a new mortgage. With the mortgage forbearance specifically, is if you've done a forbearance and you need to be on some type of loan, they call it a loan modification when you have the new revised payment plan to pay back the forbearance. But you have to show proof of 3 consecutive months successfully making that forbearance or loan mod payment in order to be approved for financing. So something most people don't realize, that it does come at a cost if you opt into these programs. So get all the cards on the table, get your information before you go into something like that. I know most people that are going to do it have already done it. But if you have any questions on that, reach out to us. We'll get you introduced to Scott or somebody that can answer your questions related to that. As far as our Vegas market, just as far as the economy's picking up here. If you live here, you've seen that the hotels that have opened are busy. From what I understand, I haven't been in one of them yet, but from what I understand for friends that work in them or have been visiting them, that it feels pretty normal, that there's a lot of people in there, for better or worse. I know that our governor's office just announced the directive to have mandatory face coverings because, cases have gone up, not just in Nevada, but all over the country. But things are picking up. Traffic, you can feel it as you're driving around. Traffic has definitely picked up. And school announcements, that just came out yesterday from CCSD. So it'll be a few days by the time we release this video. But with the cohorts and the 3 different classes, A, B, or C, virtual classrooms versus, Monday, Tuesday in class, or Thursday, Friday. So just a lot of just fluid craziness going on right now. I know we're all trying to adjust to new norms right now. But the housing market in itself, which is what I'm focused on in this video for you, is super strong. So I'm going to speak to that right now. So last month, understandably so, home sales are continuing to be down year over year. So we saw 1,703. So 1,703 single family homes sold last month, which is actually down 48% from a year ago. Again, very understandable walking out of a pandemic or through a pandemic. But what's interesting is even though home sales are down, the volume of sales, home prices are up. So last month when I updated you, prices had gone from 319 to 310. So they dropped almost about 3%. This past month, they came up 1.6%. So they just came right back up to 315. And I definitely expect that to be higher next month as well, just based on the activity we're seeing, supply and demand. So the market is super strong. As far as inventory is concerned, the last 7 days, and I track this every day, but the last 7 days, I'll look at week to week increments. 177 more homes went pending than actually came on the market or back on the market. Now, the last couple updates I'd done in the past, we had seen multiple weeks in a row where there were significantly more homes coming on the market or back on market than were going pending. Those tables have turned in the last number of weeks. In fact, week after week for the last month, we have seen more homes go pending than actually come on the market, which is a great thing. Inventory is, well, it depends how you look at it. If you're a buyer, there's limited inventory. If you're a seller, wow, it's a good time to sell. And I'll expand on that right now. So last month, just for percentages, by the way, consistently in the last few weeks, we've seen 10 to 15% more homes go pending than come on the market. So when you combine that week after week, you can see what that will do to inventory. Last month, as far as how long homes are taking to sell because of that supply and demand, last month we saw 66% of home sales actually sold in less than 30 days. So 66% of homes sold in less than 30 days, and actually 85% of the total inventory sold in less than 60 days. So only 15% of the homes on the market are sitting longer than 60 days. And I would submit to you that every single one of those just about is overpriced or tenant occupied, or there's some variable there that's making it not fly off the market. Inventory right now, with the decline that we've seen over the last few weeks, we're actually currently, as of today, just looking at single family home inventory, it's down to 2.5 months of available inventory. So again, if no more homes are listed in the next 2.5 months, single family, we will have sold out of what's available single family in the Las Vegas Valley. So we need homes to sell. If you've been thinking about selling, call us. Let's have a consultation. Let's get the conversation started. See if it makes sense for you. But it's a really good time to sell your home. As far as some other updates locally, the governor's office did announce that we're still in phase 2 as far as that roadmap to recovery. He did announce phased lifting of the eviction moratorium. I'm going to just put some details. That's a whole nother conversation, but I'm going to put details below for what that looks like and some further clarity brought by the Attorney General's office. So I have a lot of links for you that were provided to me from our Las Vegas Realtor Association. That's always a great advocate for the community and also keeping us realtors updated on these types of updates. So I'll share those with you. And then also want to share something with you that our team is now working with a system called HomeBot. And many of you, we've already set you up with HomeBot, but I wanted to offer to everybody that is in our network here that if you have a home, it doesn't even have to be in Las Vegas, but we would love to set you up on the system. I'm going to put a link to the landing page. If you visit that page and just put your information in, it'll give you an automated estimate of value for your home, sort of like a Zestimate or Realtor.com estimate or something like that. The unique thing about this, though, is we can work with it and modify it. So if you submit that inquiry, you'll actually see a link below where you can put your email in and actually register for the full report. Or you can just reach out to us, email, call us, and we'll be happy to set that up for you. But the full report is really cool. It actually gives you a lot of different things you can do. You can see how much equity is in your home. You can see what it would look like to rent your home or even Airbnb your home. How you can save money on interest payments by maybe paying extra on your mortgage. How many months or years could that knock off your mortgage or save you in interest? A lot of really cool features that I think you'd really enjoy. We've had great feedback from our clients that have been playing with the HomeBot system. So it's just a free tool that we'd love to provide to you, just to provide value to you. So go to that link and check that out. And lastly, just want to say happy 4th of July to everybody. I hope you guys have a great holiday week. I know celebrating it is going to be a bit different than probably we're accustomed to, but I hope you find a way to make it special for you and your friends and your family. Again, we know everybody's wanting to buy right now, but if you are any thoughts of selling your home, reach out to our team. We'd love to have that conversation with you because our buyers need homes to go look at and to purchase. So anyways, I hope this is helpful. Share this content. If anybody looking to know, understand what's happening in Vegas right now, but real estate's hot. It's going to lead us out of this economic slowdown, both nationally and locally, I believe. So just want to say happy 4th. You guys have an amazing summer as it continues, and reach out to us anytime. We love hearing from you. Remember, who you work with matters.